Well, hey, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And today, for March 19th, 2025, I'll jump into the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, and we'll go from there. Just talk some games. Good morning, all Autonomous. No, I haven't seen any Gundam Assemble news yet. I've haven't looked into Gundam stuff yet. I'll be doing that here shortly. I've been trying to round up some video game news, and actually, nothing Gundam Assemble popped up, so I'm curious what that could be. And it's not been that much crazy news, but Assassin's Creed Shadows reviews are out, so we're gonna take a look at those to get an understanding and idea of what Assassin's Creed is going to be like this time around. Spoiler alert: I'm already excited to play. I see that in the Ubisoft Connect app, you can actually preload Shadows. I'll probably do that after the stream just so it's not downloading while I'm streaming, which I really don't know if that has any effect, but I assume it does. Let's see. And then there's a bunch of other little news tidbits, and if there's some time, we'll do some games. But yeah, we'll jump into what I've been playing, and it's pretty short and sweet. On the show yesterday, played some Undertale. It was underwhelming. No, but I get what it is, and I might just play through it just for the point of what it is. But just played some more Rise of the Ronin, and really not much. I really didn't play many video games yesterday, actually. And even with Rise of the Ronin, I'm getting to the point where it's like, I'm at 19 hours. I felt like I've played enough of the game where I'm very satisfied with it. I might just end up mainlining the rest of the missions. I'll see if I could do that just to kind of beat it. But this would be the game, and this is how I sort of do these sometimes. Is like, I'll mainlight it, beat it, and then in the future, I know I can go back to this game and do other little sections I haven't done yet. Have I really done that with a game, though? No. When it comes to open world games, I don't always feel like I have to 100% them. And I'm trying to think if there's one where I have, and I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, Jim Kellex, good to see you. Oh, Autonomous is saying, wait, June 11th it comes out? Because I thought this got delayed to 2026. So anyway, yeah, I'll oh, it didn't say I was live. Oh, interesting. Anyway, yeah, I'll have to check out that news later. Okay. All right, let's jump into some news here real quick. Well, actually, the main topic here is the Assassin's Creed Shadows reviews. You know what? It's kind of cut off a little bit. Let me see if I can move this over. No, I can't. I want to figure out how to do some of this stuff live. So if I was to do that, there we go. And then do I move it? I know, isn't that annoying? I'm doing this live, but I'm trying to figure out with this new app because it does so much what else I could do. Anyway, that's good enough for now. 81. 81 seems completely good for a AAA mainstream title, and especially Assassin's Creed. Just kind of looking at these latest critic reviews. Some of these I don't even recognize, but we're seeing 89, 85, 90. And then 87 on Xbox. PC's got it 78. Interesting, but I could see, PC gamers being a little more, or even critics, PC critics being a little more critical. Wow, we even got 100. That's crazy. That seems like it's crazy. But at the same time, I feel like a person could feel a game is 100. Things could be full for you, even if there are things that fall flat. But like I would call Breath of the Wild my 100 game. Yeah, I mean, these reviews seem like the typical normal reviews you would see out of, what Ultron was saying, it's solid. Yeah, solid B. And I think that is exactly what you're going to get out of this, because this is a mainstream game. It's made for a super wide audience. So it's really hard to get, something that comes out that's all of a sudden like an Elden Ring, like, wow, look at this. But I've been watching some video reviews, and to be honest, it sounds great. The only complaints, or I guess things that I'm not looking forward to, would probably be the collectathon nature. They, how they say if you don't like open world games with a checklist, this won't be for you. And I don't necessarily want an open world game with a checklist. I just like open world games that have a lot of options for how you can confront gameplay scenarios, fights. Basically, the combat, that's more my thing. And then the exploration. I like to easily be able to traverse. I don't need it to be super realistic to where I have to walk 10 minutes somewhere. I like games that just have a quick fast travel system, because the game should be designed to incentivize the exploration alongside the fast travel. So we'll see what kind of mix of it does. The last Assassin's Creed I played through nearly completely, and pretty much completely, except for the side stuff, was Origins. Played a little Odyssey. Played a little more Valhalla. But I think at those times I don't, I just wasn't in the mood. But I like Vikings, so I'm curious why I didn't play through Valhalla. But it's just I like the samurai and ninja thing. Even though I've got my fill of it with Rise of the Ronin, we'll see. And actually, let me show you guys something real quick. So, this is from when I was in high school in the 90s. This is a character I made up named Moriatsu, and it's pretty much I for some reason had the idea of a black samurai, so I just drew it. And here's him fighting a dragon. And it was a character I made up, black samurai. And so like when they announced, the Assassin's Creed game having that character, I was like, I feel like this was made for me. Here's him and this guy that he fights with named Victor Goldsmith. I think I have him on another page here. It'd be back when I was drawing this, it was like if there was a story of these two guys battling. I don't know. Although I will say some of my best work that is in these sketch pads. Let me get the other one out. Revolves around two characters, and that is Blade and Ash. That's right. I have a whole series of drawings of them fighting the forces of evil. Here's again Blade and Ash. See, that's why I need to be hired by these executives to make movies, or games, or whatever. I have so many ideas, and then they end up happening anyway. That's from my years in high school. I had so much fun. I was in an advanced art class. That was kind of my skill. Back then was art. Okay. So really the end thing here I'm getting out of this is Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to do well, just like any Assassin's Creed. But yeah, I'll be curious once we get into the nuance of the game. I think these reviewers, they have to play the game real quick, get a review out. But I think a lot of times it's hard to really let something kind of gel over time in your mind and be like, this is an interesting concept of the game. But I don't think reviewers can get there when they come out with reviews so soon. Okay. Let's move on to some news. Towerborn releases on Xbox in April. So this is a game I was waiting for a long time. And then it came out on PC already, but then it's or on Steam, I think it was early access, and then it comes out on Xbox on April 29th, and it will be on Game Pass the same day. So this is something I'm looking forward to because it is a a brawler, those side-scrolling beat 'em ups. And I think it got delayed, and I guess the thing is, it's that game preview. I'm really tired of because they announced the game, but they didn't announce it to be coming out as a game preview. And then it was supposed to come out earlier. And then when it finally got around to it, they're like, well, it's still in game preview. And it's like, oh man, I mean, there was another game I think I came across yesterday. Oh yeah, Witchfire. Already have it, played it, like it. It feels like it's missing things. And I was just reminded of it yesterday that, I mean, Witchfire looks great, but it's a roguelite. And so it has that structure where you just do something real quick and then you're back in the hub. And it's, I don't like that sort of segmented. It's like a quantized game where it's discrete packets of moments and not like a full experience. I think I'm just saying the difference between these roguelites and like a typical game with a story. Anyway, looking forward to this game. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sniper Elite Resistance gets its first DLC mission and new weapons, which are part of the season pass if you have it, which it's on sale on Xbox. And that's the thing. Even though I got this game through Game Pass as a Game Pass subscriber or whatever, you still have to buy the DLC they come out with. That's kind of how that works. But usually it's on discount. I'm going to want to play this. I wonder what's going to happen this weekend after Assassin's Creed. Am I going to completely drop Rise of the Ronin? And I'm still trying to find a filler game because I can't just be doing constant open world Japanese samurai style gaming all the time. So this might be the little filler. I was looking for more of a 2D game, although some of my filler this week has been just not playing games as much. I know that sounds bad, but I do that every once in a while. I've talked about it on here. Although for me, not playing games as much is for a normal person playing too much. Probably. Anyway, I'm just excited about this. For me, the Sniper Elite, the game is just that satisfying. It gives me the control I need over a character in a 3D space in terms of combat and mechanics, while giving me a lot to do with that character in the world. Because there's things everywhere that you can it's just alive. I feel like I'm in this living world, and it's very fun. I recommend this game. Okay, Xbox Game Pass lineup for the rest of March includes a highly rated JRPG, and Atomfall. Okay, so let's look at this. Weird that this ad is just like right in the middle of this. How annoying. But March 19th, which is today, Octopath Traveler 2. GMKillX, did you play that? I might want to jump in. I've seen the graphics. It looks cool. And Game Pass. I mean, that's awesome. Okay, Train Sim World 5. I don't see myself playing that, but it's there. Mythwrecked. Ambrosia Island? Let's see what this is. Interesting. Let's see. It came out in December on Steam. Exploration adventure, story rich. Okay, I've seen a checklist here, but I'm seeing some pretty cool. Looks like open exploration. Not a big fan of the graphics. Just in terms of like this straddles what, World of Warcraft, Breath of the Wild, and other games are doing. It's probably a, less expensive way to make graphics, but it just, if you don't have something very specific with it, it gets lost in other games that look like this. So it's interesting. The exploration stuff has me interested, but let's see. I've invested 7 hours in this game and can unequivocally endorse it. One of the features I appreciate about this game is its unique reinterpretation of Greek mythology. That's neat. Let's see. My main gripe is that even if you set text speed to max, you still have to wait for display animation on every single line. So, yeah, some of the things that come with dialogue is very interesting. Okay, Jam Collect. So you did try the Octopath Traveler demo. Not your thing progression-wise, but very well constructed. Okay. All right. So that was let's see. That was Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island. Being on Game Pass, it makes you just want to try it anyway. Okay, Blizzard Arcade Collection. I'm excited about this. The dude in the back with the shotgun, one of my favorite games ever. Blackthorn, right? Yeah, Blackthorn. Let me actually open this up. Okay, yeah, Blackthorn. So have I played these other games? Maybe, but Blackthorn is a game I played on PC, Super Nintendo, 32X back when it came out. The 32X version was actually the main version, and I think that's what they're doing with this one. Anyway, I didn't buy this, even though this is something I would totally be into just because of Blackthorn, but now it's coming, March 25th. Get me in some Blackthorn. If you guys haven't played that game, it is great. Yeah, even though trying to say supplies, I don't have it. Yeah, I think it's because I played so much back in the day that I was like, nah. Yeah. Okay, this next one, Atomfall, March 27th. This is a big one, I think, because it is the Sniper Elite devs, and because I think they're good at. And the main reason why I'm playing is because they're really good at the combination of exploration and then coming across unique mechanics in an open world setting. So we'll see. It takes after the Fallout series, and I'm not really into those games too much. I feel like the combat takes a back seat to the exploration and narrative, and that just makes the encounters for me a little boring. Okay. Xbox's Nunchuck-like adaptive joystick is now available, priced at $30. So this is pretty cool. It looks like what you would see with the PlayStation Move, any Oculus controller. It's kind of like what the Wii controls did with the Nunchuck and everything. Yeah, that's right. That Nunchuck add-on, right, on the Wii remote. Anyway, I think this should just be standard in a way, but it's nice that this stuff is available for people to have more options of control. I think that is number one. That's why when I talk about these portable handhelds, these handhelds that are going to be coming out soon, I feel like they need to somehow make the control functionality modular of these portable handhelds, because when you buy a handheld, typically other than a Switch, they're just like the ROG Ally, it's just attached to it. If something happens, if you wanted to change a preference, you really can't. That's why I love that the Switch inadvertently fixed that problem, because it's like, oh, just have swappable controllers. I don't know if it will happen, but I really think the most important thing Microsoft needs to do with their handheld to stand out and make it a feature moving forward with all is removable controllers. The PS Portal doesn't have removable controls, but it's still really nice controls. But what if someone wanted to modify it in a way to make it easier for them to play and they can't? So, it's very interesting stuff. Okay. Let's see what's going on in chat. Let's see. Octopath Traveler is interesting by RPG standards. I vibed with one of the characters in Octopath Traveler 2 more so. I'm surprised. Okay, yeah. IGN just gave Xenoblade Chronicles X a rare 9.0. They even took down the reposted and amended review because the frame rate was an issue on their end and wanted people to know that error. Wow. Huh. Well, that's cool that they're going into detail. And to be honest, Xenoblade Chronicles looks great. I really want to jump into it. It comes out the same day as Assassin's Creed. So we will see. And that's the thing. Xenoblade Chronicles, I might not even get to the mechs. So like with that, Like a Dragon that came out last year, I wanted to get to the city building part. I've played through most of the game, 90% of it. I haven't got to it yet, and maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. It's crazy how long some games are and how long some people are willing to put in time. Because you saw with me with like Rise of the Ronin at 19, I'm like, I'm done. And some games at 30, I'm done. Okay. Okay, Arc DLC trailer slammed for being made entirely through Gen AI. So I'm curious, like, what do they mean entirely Gen AI? Do they just mean like stuff like this, where it's like concepts or something? I mean, that's okay. They're just concepting it out. And that's the thing. I don't think people realize it's not like they're like, okay, I need a trailer for my game. Bam. Okay, guys, here it is. No, I mean, when you're working with AI, you are constantly refining. You are then like, okay, doesn't look exactly what I want. What am I doing wrong here? And then you realize it's teaching you about language. It's teaching you how to speak precisely, specifically. So when people are slamming AI, it's especially even AI generation, they really don't know what they're talking about. And I've been doing that with the AI music. People will be quick to say, "Oh, it's AI music." It's like I'm having so much fun with it because I can really, if I sit there and take my time and work with these generative AI music apps, I can really make something specific. But it takes a lot of time. You have to learn. You have to understand. And I don't think people realize it's just the same thing. I think the problem is calling it an official trailer and not a concept or teaser trailer. Yeah, actually. So if that's the case, then let's see if they said anything. What's worse is it isn't even good Gen AI content. Well, that's not the point of the Gen AI. Just a visual reel that shows Jakey exploring some kind of water-themed underworld. Yeah, I guess I can get that. If this was supposed to be a trailer, but I don't know. At the same time, if the final game gives off that exact vibe, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Okay, this sounds interesting. Doll's Nest. Mecha girl action game Doll's Nest will launch for PC via Steam on April 24th for $20. Interesting, $20, huh? It's like a 3D mech game. There is a demo. A demo, huh? Well, you know what? Let's add to wish list. I would say let's download the demo. Actually, let me just test that out, even though, some of the rules, like don't cross the streams, you don't download while you're streaming. Don't cross the streams. And I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so if this does have time to finish downloading, maybe we could check it out real quick because it already is at 35%. And so are the dogs because I think someone's here, which is okay. Okay, while that's downloading, next up, devs reveal scrap plans for a connected Marvel gaming universe, MGU. I think this is a great idea, and I think it's something video games should be doing more. I think Halo, in a way, kind of did that because all the games kind of tied in together. And so I think we get this, but I feel like, I think as consumers, we do get this with other properties. But it would be a cool idea to kind of more market it in that way, where it's really about like, here's this connected gaming universe, play all the games to. What is the main draw of? Is it story? I think another thing that games should be doing that they don't do enough of is having, if you've played a game before, either through save file or an account linking, you get more stuff in the other game, and not just stuff, but like I know some games have done that, but I'm more of like, for instance, what would be a good example? Like if they made a Breath of the Wild 2 and it was in the same place, but depending on, like, if you already built your house in Breath of the Wild, it's going to be in Breath of the Wild 2 the same way you had it set up. Like, I feel like games should be doing that more. So there could be an MGU where it's like all these different Marvel games and maybe a story sequence that happened, like a big boss battle destroyed a building in one game. In another game, maybe you come across that. And then maybe there could be some weapon pickups or item pickups in the area based on how you fought that boss in the other game. So I feel like there could be more of that connectivity. Let's see. Man, a lot of good stuff in the chat. A lot of good stuff in the chat. I never forgot how in the PS1 era you'd get cross-save features if you had files. Yeah, so some games did that, which is pretty cool. Looking at the save file, I know, did Metal Gear look at a save file? There was another game recently I played where it looked for 2 different games and it gave me skins. But to have it more of an experience rather than like, well, here's some skins, you know. So anyway, it got scrapped, but probably this is more to do with the economy in general rather than it being a bad idea. Because I think if really worked on, it could be a good idea. Okay, Dusk Golem or Golem. I never really Golem. Okay, Resident Evil 9 is a big reinvention of the series to the same level as Resident Evil 4 and 7. It will play differently than recent RE games and most likely going to be revealed this year. So a couple things. Capcom is smart. I can't believe they even changed the Resident Evil 4 gameplay. I remember when they first announced that and people were like, this doesn't make sense. But then when you played it, you're like, oh yeah, and then they refined it with 5 and 6. They really leaned into like that 360 era third person action game. 7 came out, went back to first person, which I think was a good idea because the horror games were fun in general. And Resident Evil is kind of moving away from that, going into the action. So 7 kind of really bringing back that horror helps. Now, I didn't play 8. 8 is the only one I haven't played. So I need to go back and play 8. But it is cool. And so 8, first person like 7. What's cool about 9 then is they're doing something different. What is it? Well, maybe it's not what they're doing with the remake. So the 4 remake, it's almost like where they completely modernize third-person action game controls. But I wonder if then the idea is for Capcom to leave that with the remakes, but then for 9, what would it be? Because we've got tank controls, static camera from the originals. We've got the over-the-shoulder, but pause when you shoot, which started with 4. And then slowly it just became more free-formed third-person action shooting. And then we got the first-person, but then the remakes had that third-person action shooting. So then what is the next step? Is it to maybe go back to a certain style, but maybe change it, refine it? I don't know. I'm excited about that aspect completely. Okay. So about 383,000. That's very specific for actually being in the hundreds of thousands. Switch 2 units have reportedly been shipped to the US already back in January. So think about this. Right now, the Switch that I'm going to be using is sitting in this country. Yeah, people are still saying the June 2025 release is likely. I can't wait. That is exciting. That's all I got for that. So let's look at Doll's Nest demo and see if I can get that. That downloaded really fast and did not destroy my stream. And I just pressed the button to go to the game. I'm telling you, this Meld program is so much easier to use in OBS. Okay, so smart, yet they don't remake Outbreak or Resistance, which you have a good point there. They could be doing some side Resident Evil games that are separate from the main line, you know, to have the multiplayer stuff. RE6 was my first time playing an RE game. I liked the gameplay, but I understand why the core fanbase didn't like. Yes, agree with you there. I liked the game a lot, but I understand why people didn't like it. And then I think it's cool that Capcom goes and they refresh what they do. I was traumatized by 2, but my first official RE play was 4. Then after that, Outbreak, so I could understand the classic style. That's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool that they do this. Okay, so again, we're playing this Mecha Doll game. So Interesting. Well, I like this menu here. I didn't like what it was in game, but right here, this looks good. What did I do the wrong thing, guys? Because I was on controller. Okay. Oh, I don't know what I did. I just saw a button, pressed it. I don't read. Okay, so what's going on here? Right trigger. Left trigger's a boost. That was something. Skip training? Okay. Let's skip training. Let's just... Look, I get training, but I think the best way for someone to learn a game is just drop them into something where they have to just casually use their skills, but make it where they don't die quickly. That way you're like, oh, that's how all this works. Okay, it's a weird looking mech. I don't even know what this form is. I think there's a person in it, though. Okay. So there's jump. Left trigger does just a boost, but then it stops. Can I do it forever? Oh, switching weapons. Got the gun. Y switches weapons. RB, LB, nothing. Okay, what's this? Take resources. Okay, I got a gun, I guess. Oh, here we go. Because they're red, so they're bad guys. Oh, wait, what? Okay, so I guess the sword has like a long charge up time. Which... Okay, so... I will say... You know, there's intriguing things going on here. Oh, I can't... But this does kind of feel, you know, kind of budget. Okay. There we go. Take resources. Luminous core. Wow, okay, I gotta wait for that. Alright, there we go. That was a little weird. Okay. Okay, this door doesn't open, so... Where am I going? It looks like this is a ramp, but I don't trust it. Okay. Shotgun. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So, what do we have here? Item wheel, inventory. Frame. Okay, and this is where you got the different frames that you can equip. I like the sound of that already. What? Okay. Okay, different things that you can add on there. Okay, primary arms. Here we go. This is where I've got this equipped, but I've got, like, the shotgun. I've got other weapons. Okay, so primary, secondary, rear arms. That is that. Interesting. Okay, I guess the use of the different weapons wasn't too clear for me. So let's go back to that real quick. Inventory. Frame, or wait, primary arms. Okay. Unless you just have to do it from in here, but where do I get my secondary then? Let's go to... Oh, there's attributes. That's cool. Okay, here we go. So... Thrusters. Utility module action. Change primary arms. Okay. Purge rear weapon. Okay, it might take some time to figure out what this does, because I didn't get any of that, but what time is it? Oh, actually, I gotta go. So, at least you can see this game pretty interesting. I mean, what is this tree here? And little origami robot flowers? Is that what Oh, okay, so the tree is like okay, so is this a Souls-like? Because the tree is kind of like that whole this is very quiet. There's not a lot of music. There's random things you pick up. So maybe this is supposed to be a Souls-like. All right, I do got to go, but let me kind of mess around with some stuff here. Okay, those guys die easier, especially. And it doesn't really seem to do a lock on unless I'm missing something. Okay, so intriguing what's going on here. I feel there's a fun feel to the controls. So, yeah. All right, I could be here forever. Let me quit this. Let me get back to my scene. So, thanks for joining. We got to look at Doll's Nest. So that comes out April 23rd. The developer had a game called Rusty Rabbit. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this game turns out. So, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. But until next time, be cool. See y'all.